All right, let's move to number 39, Kentucky. They had 20 commits. They had 3 ESPN 300 commits. That's 14 3-stars, 4 stars. Their 3 ESPN 300 commits are Jager. I don't know if that's Jagger. I don't know. Burton. By the way, I'm going to butcher so many of these names tonight, so
We're doing our best here.
Feel free to laugh at me. It's cool. I'm okay with it. So Mr. Burton is the number 10 offensive guard. We've got Deckel Crowdus Jr., the number 39 wide receiver, and then Trevin Wallace, the number 5 inside linebacker. So looking at the QB situation, because as you recall, Terry Wilson entered the transfer portal and left Kentucky. So they needed to kind of shore that up. So they just added a grad transfer from Penn State, Will Levis. The new Kentucky offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, went after him when he entered the transfer portal. So that was a victory for them. And then they also added another quarterback in this class with 3-star Kaya Sharon. Again, apologize if I mispronounced that, but that is the number. He is the number 71 rated pocket passing quarterback. So they've got some choices there at quarterback. So interesting to see how that goes. Matt, what are your reactions to this, a number 39 ranked class from Kentucky?
Well, Kentucky's 2020 campaign wasn't terribly great. They finished 5-6 on the season, so not stellar. A little bit of a step back compared to the season before. Remember, that season that was the high. Yeah. I would almost say the high watermark of Kentucky football.
Hopeful season,
at least in the last 25 years. I mean, they had a really good season.
Memory, yeah.
And I feel like they've taken a little bit of a step back here. I keep going back to 247 Sports because they're also a decent source when you're looking at recruiting things. Last year, 247 had them ranked 25th in the nation. This year, they've fallen back to 33rd. They're projected next year to be 49th. So that's not tracking the way you want it to go. And I was looking at a couple of the kids that they've managed to sign, and the name that kind of popped out at me was Wandale Robinson, who's a wide receiver transfer out of Nebraska, is rated at a 95 on a 4-star out of Nebraska for them. So we may see him in the fall. We might see his name get thrown around, especially with the way that Kentucky likes to run their offense. So it'll be interesting to see what they are able to do there. That quarterback situation with Terry Wilson leaving is going to also be very interesting. So a lot of question marks for Kentucky on the offensive side of the ball.
Right. Jesse, you have any reactions to this class?
Yeah, I mean, I think grad transfers are a great option in general, but especially when you're looking for a quarterback and you're someone like a Kentucky that didn't necessarily perform really well this past season. You're not going to be able to recruit that stellar quarterback out of high school. So you go to the transfer portal. A lot of times they go to JUCOs. And this time Penn State, that's a big school. They've had some recent success in the Big Ten in the past couple of years. Not so much right now. Last season wasn't as great, but in recent years, in the past 5 years or so, they've had some success with James Franklin as the coach. So yeah, I think, getting someone from another Power 5 conference as a quarterback is hopefully a step in the right direction. Terry Wilson, I believe, was a transfer. So maybe we're starting to see in Kentucky a pattern similar to Auburn, where you just kind of pick up other quarterbacks instead of recruiting at high school.
Stop that.
Yeah, I mean,
just nice to Auburn.
Talking about
it's not untrue.
They've been through a lot.
Some of it self-inflicted, whatever. The quarterback situation there. I mean, for me, it's really interesting because no offense to Terry Wilson or Lynn Bowden or any of the guys that we've seen there the past several years, but the inconsistency at the quarterback position, I think, has really hurt them. So if they could really get, anyone to step in and just be that kind of rock at quarterback and have just a consistent performance, and not make a great play here and then a bonehead play the next. I mean, if they have something like that, I mean, I think Stoops is a great coach, and I think Kentucky could be on their way to doing good things again. So yeah, we'll see.
Their quarterbacks have just felt like they've been like plugging holes like in their boat every year. It's just like, oh no, pop in a cork. We'll just get through the season. We'll just get through it. And that's just not how you build a program. Unfortunately, like, of course, the quarterback's not the entire team, but they're a pretty darn important part that you need to have locked down. And you need to have somebody that can either game manage or really sling it. And unfortunately, they haven't had either of those in the past couple seasons.
And one of those I mentioned, Lynn Bowden, they pulled him out of the wide receivers room, said, "Hey man, play quarterback for us." So
no, that was rough.
Yeah.